we're going to learn about solid state. Firstly, characteristics of solid state. What is meant by solid? A solid is a state of matter. Matter can exist in five states, that is solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state, as well as Einstein-Bohr state and plasma state. So firstly here we will be going to learn about solid state. There are firstly we need to learn characteristics of solid state. That is, solids have definite mass, volume and shape. Intermolecular or molecular or ionic distances are very short, and intermolecular, molecular or ionic forces are very strong, and the constant particles are having fixed position and can oscillate among their mean positions. And solids are generally incompressible and rigid. Solids are classified into two types based on the arrangement of constituent particles. They are crystalline solids and amorphous solids. In Greek, amorphous means no form. So here we can see the differences between crystalline solids and amorphous solids. Crystalline solids have different structures, whereas amorphous solids have no regular structure, and boiling points and melting points are very sharp temperature in crystalline solids, but as in amorphous solids, boiling points in crystalline solids are at ranges of temperature, right? Next, when the crystalline solids are cleaved, they break into smooth plane pieces, but whereas in amorphous solids they broke into irregular pieces. And in crystalline solids they are having definite heat of fusion, and in amorphous solids they are having indefinite heat of fusion. And anisotropic property is exhibited in crystalline solids except cubic crystals, but whereas in amorphous solids isotropic property is exhibited, right? And next, uh, amorphous solids are also called as pseudo solids or supercooled solids, whereas crystalline solids are also called as true solids. And long range order for crystalline solids and short range order for amorphous solids, and these are the examples. And amorphous silicon is one of the best photovoltaic material available for conversion of sunlight to electricity, a very important point. And crystalline solids are again classified into four types based on the intermolecular forces between them. First one is molecular solids, and these molecular solids are again classified into three types, that is non-polar molecular solids, polar molecular solids, and hydrogen bonded molecular solids. Firstly, going to this non-polar molecular solids, these are the solids which are held by the dispersion forces or London forces, and they are soft insulators, low melting point, and liquid or gaseous state at STP. Polar molecule is nothing but dipole-dipole interactions, and hydrogen bonding is nothing but polar covalent bonds between hydrogen and fluorine or oxygen or nitrogen, and they are soft. And ionic solids. Ionic solids are 3D arrangement of cations and anions bounded by the electrostatic or Coulombic forces. They are hard and brittle in nature. They have high melting point and boiling point. In solid state, they are electrical insulators, but whereas in molten state, ionic solids are, they conduct electricity. And metallic solids, they are a collection of positive ions surrounded by and held by an sea of free electrons. And the property exhibited by metallic solids are luster and color in certain cases. And covalent or network solids, this is the last classification in crystalline solids. A wide variety of crystalline solids are non-metal results from the formation of covalent bonds between adjacent atoms throughout the crystal, and they are called as giant molecules. The properties exhibited are strong and directional and high melting point. Examples of covalent or network solids is diamond and silicon carbide, and graphite is one of the example of covalent or network solids. And here graphite is an unusual example. Thank you.